Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Christy from Getting Into Prepping. In this video I want to quickly discuss a scenario. I know that doesn't really sound like very interesting video material, but just think about this. If you discuss a scenario, you can start thinking about the scenario and you can actually start developing plans based on that specific scenario. Now, the reason I've chosen today to start with this scenario is actually based on a news article that was on the radio earlier today while I was driving. The scenario is the following. You are living in a small town surrounded by a few other small towns and then maybe one big town nearby. Right, so we've got a lot of small towns in close proximity. There is a big storm over the weekend and your pylons, your electric pylons is damaged. Now, I'm quite sure that some of you that has been listening to the news might realize that this is an actual event that took place over the weekend. There was a few pylons destroyed. It's somewhere in Cape, I can't remember exactly where, but it boils down to this. For the next 2 weeks, those people will be having issues. They've already, from this happened over the weekend. We are on Tuesday today, so in the past 3 to 4 days they've already experienced the following problems. They cannot get cash because all the ATMs are down. They do not have any signal service because the power went down. They cannot buy any food because the power went down. So with that said, all power is down in that place, and for the next 2 weeks they will be sitting with this problem, where Eskom has only said that they foresee that in 2 weeks time they will be able to fix this problem. Now just think for yourself, put yourself in that scenario. Will you be able to deal with that? Can you deal with that? How will you deal with that? What equipment, what have you got at home to deal with that? Now, first of all, if I look at the main priorities of survival, shelter should not be a problem because you have shelter in terms of your house. So if everything goes well, you'll be able to stay in your own house, so that should not be a problem. Shelter, check, no problem. Water, that is the next big problem. What do you have in terms of water? How much water have you got available now to sustain yourself until water issues has been resolved? I know that they're planning to get water in there in terms of tanks that's being put in place, but let's assume for the first 3 days you don't have water, you don't have access to water because of the fact that the electricity is gone, all pump stations is off, you've got no running water in your house. So what are you going to do? I'm just going to give you an example what I'm thinking of. I've got a water tank of 260 liters, which will probably give me a couple of days of water. I've got some plastic bottles, 5-liter bottles also stashed, that will give me another couple of days. And then we are very fortunate in terms of we had some good rain, and we've got a rain harvesting system on the premises that we are hiring, and that tank is probably about half to 10,000 liters of water. So as far as water is concerned, I think we sorted. Then we've also got a swimming pool on premises, and my neighbors has got a swimming pool as well, so water covered. Food, since it is the beginning of the month, but it is January, so it's a little bit tight. We do have some tinned food and other food stuff in the pantry. I've also got my emergency stuff available. So food also not a problem. But if you're looking at 2 weeks, do you have enough in your pantry and your emergency stuff to eat out of for 2 weeks with all your family? You must also remember now, if you do eat food, you do need water. So if you've got to have water, you've got to have food. Otherwise, you've got a problem. Then the next big one, and that would be my concern, is the sanitation. If you have to do your number 2s for 2 weeks, how are you going to deal with it? Now, I've identified this as one of my shortcomings in my preparation in the bugging in section of my plan. So I am working on it. I believe that I would be able, touch wood, I might be able to survive the 2 weeks with the current plan that I've got, using a bucket system and actually burying the compost, or the number twos, whatever you want to call it. So I would be able, I hope that I would be able to do that. Next one, refuge removal. If there's no services, they're probably not going to have any refuge removal as well. So how are you going to deal with your refuse? How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to sort it out? So yeah, I'm just putting this out there. That is the scenario that I'm putting out there. In the comments, please tell me what your plans are, but don't give me your specifics. Don't give me details. Don't tell me you've got for 155 days and 11 hours worth of food, or 10 years, whatever. I don't need that. Just give me the general idea, or the general principle of what you're going to do in order to deal with this scenario as created. That's my plan. I think I should be okay. Yeah, I don't say I will be, but I think I will be. So what's your plan? Think about that. Give me some answers in the comment section. With that being said, keep on prepping, keep on thinking of scenarios, plan those scenarios, and plan according to what you have planned to get your preparations in place. That is a very good place to start. It's just by thinking of scenarios, listening to what is happening in the world, and planning what would you do. What is your plan in an emergency like that, or in that situation? Thank you for watching. I hope that I've at least put some thoughts in motion, and that you're starting to think about this. So with that being said, keep on prepping.